Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Terratech with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to the edge of the Salt Flats, in which we are collecting some crystals. In today's episode, once I get back to the main base, we have one major goal, which is to finish the fabricator system, and to make it look a lot neater, and hopefully make it a little bit more efficient. I've already got a plan in mind, so as soon as I finish getting all of these crystals, I will be right back. And we are back. So, what I really want is a load of these, the filters. So these require the yellow ore, which we have a lot of. No, they require the yellow crystal, which we do have a lot of. Okay, that's fine. And then the fibron chunks, which I don't have much of. Wait, is fibron chunks the stuff which is made by the logs being processed? I can't quite remember. Well, I suppose we can find out. And we need quite a few of these anyway, so let's see. Is that made of wood? Yes, it is. Okay, in that case, I need some more wood, and I need some more yellow crystals, so I will be right back yet again. Lots of harvesting today, it seems. Okay, hopefully that will be enough. We already have 6, and we're going to make at least another 4 before this is finished. So let's get started then on my grand idea, which hopefully will be okay. It probably won't be as grand as I first thought it would be, but I'm hoping it will at least work. So, first of all then, let's put down the refinery, which is a weird way to start this, but I do want to start off with the refinery. Let's make it like this. And this is actually going on the end of one of the conveyors, and eventually there will be 2 refineries at the end. And then we will have the delivery cannons. Once again, eventually we will have 2 of them, but they're just there for now as placeholders. And then I would like to make a very long conveyor line. So, this is how we are going to do it, very similar to how we originally set up the original base, but this time we're actually going to be a little bit smarter about it using the automated processes. So, each of these sections is going to allow for one of the raw materials. For instance, this one is going to allow for wood. We have 2 filters here and this little spiral, just so we don't end up missing one of the resources. This will then attach, if I go and grab one of these just for now. Thank you. This will then attach to a single silo, which means this silo will only ever hold wood. And then we're going to repeat this for all of the raw materials. This way, we can much more easily see if we have materials in stock, and more importantly, any overflow, once one of these is full, will simply be sold at the very end of the first conveyor. These will then be attached to another looping system, which will have the fabricator and will have the component factories. The reason why I want this to loop is it means we don't need loads of component factories later on, because the items they make will then go back to themselves later on so that they can reuse them and make the end product, which normally is a more advanced component. Also, has anyone noticed how this is not an even area? Yeah, that may actually become an issue. May need to move this before we do much more building. Although it does look kind of cool. I do actually like how flat this is, but yeah, clearly it's going to be an issue. So how about we build it facing that way instead? So the start's here and the end is over there. That way we have all of this space instead. I suppose, before I do anything else, I really should go ahead and talk to Crafty Mike, because even though I doubt he's going to give us anything new and useful, he will give us loads of spare parts, like loads of extra conveyors and stuff like that, which generally is helpful. Or at least, I hope he's going to do that. That's normally what happens. Hello there, tiny fellow. I have drills! There we go, that was the most effective little drill kill ever. Hello, oh yes, spare stuff, thank you very much, and a component factory, which is good, because I would actually like 3 of them, and that would be our 3rd, since I did make one off camera as well. Apparently they're quite cheap to make, unlike the components, which are worth a fortune to sell, by the way. Sorry, Crafty Mike, continue. Looks like you got my message! I did, Crafty Mike. So I was on a way to an important meeting, just minding my own business, when suddenly, out of nowhere, a group of pesky bandits attacked. Whatever could I have done to provoke them? Probably steal stuff, Mike. Just saying. Don't you worry, kiddo, I managed to get away safely. We know that, you are apparently immortal. But one of my boosters got damaged, oh yeah. I was fortunate enough to land near this unused but perfectly functioning base. What serendipity, I can never say that word. What good luck, let's say. Think you could craft me a replacement booster, kiddo, whenever you're ready? Actually, I need to start crafting myself some of the fuel things. Looks like we need some components to make this booster. What's that? What are components, you ask? No, I'm not asking that, we've already done this. Components are mechanical parts made by combining refined resources. You'll find them useful when manufacturing higher grade blocks. Components can be made using a component factory. This thing. Luckily, this base comes with one. I'm thinking you just steal everything, don't you, Mike? Right click. We need booster plating, okay. So, as you can see, it does the usual thing. I like how this one loops as well. This goes back into the main conveyor line again. Here's your fiber plating, easy as that. Okay, please make it now. Do I need more resources? Surely you're going to need more resources, yeah. So I'm going to have to go and get the resources, aren't I? Of course I am. Can I just say, I am so happy they nerfed how much fuel that these jet engines use. Because now, even without any fuel actually on the vehicle, just the default amount, that can go for quite some time and is really, really helpful. Now, if I'm correct, there was one of the red ores around here somewhere, the one we need anyway. And there we go, and I will have to remember these coordinates just so I can come back here later with the auto miner in case I need any more of it, because this jelly I find to be one of the most annoying resources so far. It's not all that rare, but the problem is, it's not in any of the biomes around where I've put up my base, so it's always quite a journey to get any of them. Hello again, Crafty Mike, how you doing, buddy? Okay, here's one jelly, here's 2 jelly, and here's some of that. The carbite. Which I think I was accidentally calling carbonite the first time I saw it. Hurrah for dyslexia and general derpiness at the same time. Boosters generally need an injection of fuel to get going. Don't you dare make me make one of those. I'm kind of tempted to put it on the wrong way, but there we go. You're a lifesaver, kid. I guess I can call you friend now. I think you've deserved it. Ah, we're Crafty Mike's friend now. Thanks to you, I might just be able to something or other. I didn't get to read it. Well, goodbye. Goodbye! You know, you've helped me out a lot recently, so here's a little present from me to you. Mind your head. Please be conveyors and stuff? That'd be awesome. What's that? Oh, one of the dongles. We actually need those. Okay, that was actually a pretty nice gift. Thank you then, Mr. Mike. Okay, well, let's put all of this into the black hole generator so that we can get going. Just break it all up so it's not attached to the floor. And I'll be right back once we're back at the base, starting to finish off our fabricator base. Because base. Now, one issue with the setup we're currently building over here is that it won't play nicely, at least in its current version, with scrappers. The reason is, a scrapper will sometimes give you refined blocks, which at the moment, there's going to be absolutely nowhere for the refined blocks to go. They will simply go along on their merry way until they get sold. Which, although that's not too bad, because it just means that I refine for money, I go and harvest for building, it is a bit wasteful, and I don't really like that. So, we have 2 ways to fix this if we continue with our current path. The first of which is definitely the more messy version, is to also have 1 silo for each of the refined blocks, and then maybe 1 silo dedicated to any of the, what are these called? The components. That's one way of doing it. The second way, which I think will be the way I'm going to do it, is we're going to have a couple of silos at the very end, so push these back a little bit, which are going to be general purpose and simply allow any of the refined blocks. So here we are, filter refined chunks only, so any refined chunks coming along here will be shoved into the last two as a general storage, since we won't really be scrapping too much to begin with anyway. I think that's reasonable, and now we continue building. There we are, there are all of the silos, just needing 2 more. Wow, I had the perfect amount, that's actually really good luck. And now let's just do these sections again. Once again, the reason why I have these little rotating sections is not only do I just like how they look, it also means it's a bit of a buffer, along with the double filter, so that any random bits of material simply don't go past. Okay, let's give all of these to you, and let's start collecting in a more orderly fashion. Okay, there we go. So the very basic setup is now done. Once again, though, I will have to fix it in the future so that I can hold the refined resources, although I'm certain a lot of you would have already suggested better ways of doing it, and honestly, it's not really too much of an issue. It's just something I'll have to deal with in the future. So right now we have 2 of our lovely component factories which are set up on this loop, so as they make stuff it will simply go back to them if they need that for their next round of component crafting. Now, I want to do one thing desperately. I want to get at least some of the orange crystals, some of the sort of luminescent green, and then some of the yellow, because that way we have all of the raw resources just chilling there, which I think will look really cool. We do have a lot of space as well, so once I do figure out how to do those upgrades and how I want to do them, I'm hoping that Crafty Mike will actually help out here, because soon enough we are going to need a complex dongle and an exotic dongle, which sounds really weird to say out loud, I've got to say. But either way, this is now pretty much set up. We have loads of certain resources and none of the others, so I will be right back. I'm going to go ahead and grab the stuff we need. Also, that's weird. I've just noticed it doesn't look like the fabricator is actually attached to anything. Let's just make sure this is actually working, shall we? So, let's see. Is there anything I can make straight away? I haven't got any of the yellows for that. Once again, no yellows. At the moment as well, scrolling is broke. I don't know if this is just a very simple bug I can fix by restarting, but either way, it's a bit glitchy. There we go, we can make one of those. I would like a gun, please. Okay, never mind, it's working just fine. There we go, it's grabbed those. Oh, I see. Some of the conveyor was going the wrong way. That is what was causing the issue. But either way, that was just literally one right click, and now it's all working. That will now make me a single gun, and then go away. So, I'm gonna be right back. Whilst I'm out and about, I'm also going to start deassembling all of the random bases I've been collecting because of missions, because A, they're going to cause lag if I keep on getting them, and B, I do need all of these conveyors and such. Well, that certainly took quite some time, but there we go, we now have every resource except for the orange crystals, which of course are very expensive and actually quite rare, so I'm going to go out and find myself a couple of those, in addition to focusing on finding things so that we are maxed out on every other resource. So we definitely need more of these ores, the rhodite ores, and we do also need some more of the green crystal shards. Hopefully, we can find a few of both. So it turns out earlier I was actually wrong. I did have 1 fuel tank, and now I have 2. So there we go. That should allow us to go much further when using our thrusters, which so far have been incredibly useful. Let's just shove a couple of those on, and let's get going once again in our hunt for the elusive orange crystals. At long last, there we go, finally, some orange crystals, and of course, we will mine out the vein which is underneath it. So, come on, activate so I can place items again. I really do need one of the black hole generators to be set up at the base as well, so I can always access my inventory. At the moment, I only have 1 of them, So every time I take it out, in case I find items on the floor, I've got to wait quite a while until I can actually use it properly. Glorious. Back once again, and look at how satisfying these look. I really want all of them to be completely filled, but the problem is the orange ones are so difficult to find, it would be an absolute nightmare. All of the others, even the green, which is semi-rare, I think we've almost now completely filled. Although we do need some more rubber, we need a little bit more plumbite, we need a little bit more of luxite. Actually, no, we don't. We have more than enough currently with us. We definitely need some more rhodite, and is it rhodite or ro? Yes, it is indeed rhodite. There is indeed a D there. Okay. So after all of this has been added, I will go out one more time, and I will try to find more rhodite, more of the orange crystals, and more of the rubber. Back again, and now we have enough of the blue crystals, so only 2 more resources remain, and then we will have every resource maxed out, which will look glorious. It's actually going to be really sad when we start crafting, because then they will all start to go down separately, and it will just not look quite as beautiful. Finally, the last orange crystal we are going to need. Fantastic. And yoink. There we go, let's put this down, let's get all this mined out, and then we can go ahead and do some missions to round off the episode. Here we are, back again. I've just put all of the resources into our little system, and by the looks of things, I do indeed have maximum now of every single resource. And doesn't that look just like the most satisfying thing you have seen in Terratech in quite some time? Well, at least it is for me, and it certainly makes me very, very happy to see this going along and working so well. So now, I think we should do some missions before we start doing any crafting and, you know, messing all this stuff up. Also, the orange crystals are worth an absolute fortune, so that's very, very nice to see as well. Next missions. Convert Renegade HQ, unboxing, which is actually somewhat easy. Okay, let's get both of the unboxing, we'll do both of those, and we'll do convert the Renegade HQ, because that means I could maybe get some more stuff for building up our base later, and then we don't have to craft it or purchase it ourselves. We just have to steal it from the enemy. So let's go for the missions in order, at least in order of distance, so unboxing first, which is over there. There we are, the first crate has been grabbed from Venture, and we get a front spoiler, and we get a very nice fuel tank. I'm actually tempted to use one of those very, very soon, although I am still trying to stay as GSO as possible. So, one done. Now let's go ahead and grab the Geocorp one as well. Hello there, Testo1. And goodbye there, Testo1. I do love the new sigils, the new logos they have when they pop up. They look so much better than the old variety. Whoa! Well, that was unexpected, but also all of the resources nearby suddenly exploded. Well, that was interesting. I always expect it to be a trap, but that was just weird. What was with that? Also, we definitely need more firepower, and I really hate these mortars. Well, we leveled up our Geocorp license at least, but what on earth was that then? Well, I guess I'll just pick up all the resources, since now we don't have to harvest them ourselves, and take them back to be sold, because, well, there's a fair bit of money here. And a lot of bits of Geocorp as well, so that's good. So when we do eventually build a Geocorp vehicle, which of course we will eventually, we have a lot of stuff straight away. Okay, a little side note before we do the next mission. It turns out I'd actually set up this a little bit incorrectly when I first set it up, so that what was happening was that the resources were getting stuck in the refineries, and then other resources were just skipping them entirely and being sold raw, which means I have actually lost quite a lot of money in the last few rounds of selling stuff, but now this should work absolutely fine. I just derped up a little bit early on. So, no real harm done, just a little bit of money not in my pocket. Here we are finally doing the next mission, the last mission of the day, and I've added some more lasers and even added some of the better versions, the Mark IIs, which sadly can't rotate as much as the regular ones, but definitely do a little bit more damage. They are the green ones. And is that the last fellow? No, there's definitely a fellow just behind it as well. Let's try not to destroy the base. Now it's mine. So what is this giving me? It's giving me a repair bubble, which is great. A shield bubble. Ooh. Oh, hello. That's a turbine. Well, we have now definitely unlocked turbines, so I'll go and get the black hole generator. I was leaving it behind because I didn't know the difficulty of the enemies here, and I didn't really want it to take any damage. So let's go back, let's grab the black hole, and let's put all that in storage. Very soon then, we can make a flyer. Although I do, of course, still need wings and such, we can at least make something which can hover, similar to the drones I've built in the past. Really? That little thing underneath me managed to knock me over. Of course it did. The joy of thrusters, I suppose. There we go. There we go, everything will be collected by the SCU, and now we have loads of spare parts. Actually, we have so many that very soon we do need to start using the scrapper. We actually have so many of certain things, we're just never going to need them. And we got an extra cab as well. Okay, fantastic. So now we have one of the turbine propellers. I wonder how much they are to craft. Let's go back and have a quick check. I'm hoping fairly cheap because I want loads of them. Well, goodbye there, cab 2 times bigger. I'm assuming it was meant to look like the regular cab, just made 2 times bigger. That is my assumption. I don't know where I'm getting that assumption from. You go back there. And you, let's see. Oh good, the scroll's working again. Earlier on, I had a bug where I couldn't scroll up and down in here, no matter how many times I reset the game. I don't know what's caused it to be fixed, but I'm happy it is. So that will be in flight blocks, and it takes... Ooh, that's... actually not too bad. It looks worse than it is because this one here, I think, is the only one which is in the advanced category. The splitter, yeah, the others are just, again, fairly basic. A little bit more expensive than I originally thought, but it's okay. And we do actually have access... Ooh, hello. Wait, I can only make the left? There it is, the right as well. Now that is a lot cheaper. Yeah, we can make wings. We could actually make a flyer now, so maybe that's what I will do next episode? I don't really know. I do still want some of the venture stuff, though, before we do this, and I do want to set up all of the fabricators in this line, because in theory, we should be able to have all of the different types of fabricator, even the Hawkeye fabricator, in this one very simple line. So, with that, I'm afraid I really am all out of time for today's episode. It has been hours of recording, although probably not all that much to actually show for it. A lot of farming resources, a lot of looking around, and a lot of just redesigning stuff, most of which probably will be edited out. But either way, if you have enjoyed, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that From the Depths is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. Also, I can apparently now make the armor plates, which means we can soon make our own crafty Mike, who will need his own unique name. Certainly something to think about. Thank you, and goodbye.